Hey guys, it's time for another GM Mini, where we try to give game masters and players something to think on for about 5 minutes or less. We hope. Today, I am talking about random encounters. Now, I could do a whole 10 to 20 minute episode on the intricacies of random encounters and all of that, but this is a mini. I'm just giving a little thing to think on how to punch up and maximize your random encounters. And honestly, the advice is one sentence: roll your encounters ahead of time. That's the big thing. That's what I do for my random encounters, and it goes huge in what I do. And again, I could do a big long episode on all of this stuff, but basically what it is I pre-roll what my random encounters will be. I have random encounter tables. I love random tables and random charts. I think lots of VMs do, let's be honest. And then those outcomes I write down. Now, it's not just, I write them down so I don't have to roll at the table. No, I write them down and I look at them and I go, is there a potential story here? And I just add a couple little hooks. Like if it's a group of goblins, I make one a leader and I go, why would the goblins be out there? I jot down, I try to keep it to 1 to 2 sentences, but then we're just going to keep with this goblins example. But then if an adventuring party comes across these goblins in the woods, it's not just, goblins, they attack. It's goblins, they're probably going to attack, but now I know why. And I could maybe even do some foreshadowing. Now to go even further, if we're talking about random encounters on a journey, I tend to roll all the days ahead of time. Now, I don't specifically know where they'll be at any given day, but I go, all right, I'm gonna roll the next 10 days of travel ahead of time. All right, this day's nothing. This day, we got 1 encounter. This day, nothing. This day, we have 2 encounters. And then I look at the encounters. I figure out those stories in the encounters, but then in those nothing, we're gonna say nothing, because nothing's boring. In those nothing times, what I do is I go, how can I add foreshadowing to these random encounters? The big thing about the random encounters is it was randomly determined when they would show up. It was randomly determined what was there. I just did it ahead of time so I could massage it and make it feel part of a story. Either the existing story, if I can take random encounters and go, this fits in the actual narrative they're already in. Now we just have extra depth to that, or maybe a twist or an extra spot where they could get some info early, stuff like that. Great. If it has nothing to do with the main story, cool. It is now either a side quest or a little side story or environmental storytelling that just happens to have monsters there. It's stuff where I can make the world feel like I put a lot more work into it than I actually did. Great example of both of these is when I'm recording it. Yesterday we ran Lost Colony. The day before we ran Eberron, which would basically be the case anyways. But by the time you see it, these will be sessions that happened a few weeks ago. Go check those out at the GM Plays or other YouTube site. Hey, a plug. But in both of those, I have taken random encounters. In the Eberron game, I actually, for a dungeon, I just generated an empty dungeon. I'm going to do a whole video on this method. But then I went, and the dungeon generator I have, it can make a map, it's all great and everything, but it doesn't have jungles. Now, it does have some options of what the monsters could be, but none of them really fit what was going on. So instead, I generated it empty, and then I used random encounter generators set to jungles, and then I went through the encounters and went, I like that one, grab it. I like that one, grab it. And I generated the entire dungeon from scratch to full in about 15 minutes. And that was all I needed. For the stuff for Lost Colony, when we did the poll for which adventure should the group take, which job, those were 3 randomly generated adventures, but I generated them ahead of time, and then I massaged and tweaked them so that they could have a little more flavor, because also RAM generators are typically very, very generic. So you take that, you do that in your off time, but I generated 3 full story arcs in under 20 minutes. So I went, I can generate a bunch of these, have people pick which one. And what I generated is about a sentence. I jotted down which monsters will be there, 2 to 3, and a sentence, and the rest I just winged it. I know not all GMs can wing it, but I highly suggest it. That's for a bigger video down the road, which I do think I really want to make soon. But today, with our GM mini advice, it is generate your random encounters ahead of time, then massage them so they don't feel so random. Anyways, I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.